little bit of housekeeping. So we just got back from our West Coast meetup. We went and tailgated with Brandy Chastain, and then obviously the Outlier Energy got Bay FC a 2-0 win over LA, their fierce rival. So Brandy was very happy with us. We brought the team good luck. So we had a really, really great showing and a fantastic time. And we've got some incredible stuff coming up. So dive into the events calendar on Circle, and you can see all the great stuff coming up. For anyone who is new to a Legend Series call, the format is like a 30-30 format. So DJ and I will do like a little fireside chat for about 30 minutes, and then we'll open it up for live Q&A. So if you have a question for DJ, just put in the chat, I've got a question. You don't even have to write it out. Kathy will let me know, and then I'll tee you up, and you can ask your question directly to DJ. But for those of you who may not know, Derrick Johnson is an absolute legend. So University of Texas legend, two-time All-American, Butkus Award winner, Nagurski Trophy, Lambert Trophy, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, Texas Sport Hall of Famer. On the pro side, he's the Kansas City Chiefs all-time leading tackler, which is incredible for such an iconic team as the Chiefs. Four-time Pro Bowler, first team All-Pro, was Pro Bowl defensive MVP, and now is a philanthropist doing great work with the Derrick Johnson Foundation and Defend the Dream. So we're going to get into all this good stuff because incredible life, and we have a special connection with him through Cassie, which is pretty cool. So we've got an introduction. So this is a brand new introduction. You guys will be seeing it here for the first time. So Kathy, hit it.
Don't fit in the box, I was born to stand out. Living life on my terms, I've erased all doubt. With passion in my heart and a spark in my eye, I'm the storm, I'm the lightning cutting through the sky. Welcome to the top where the fearless reign, where the dreamers build what the doubters disdain. I'm fierce, I'm bold, I'm the cream of the crop, bodacious and proud. Welcome to the top. Welcome to the top. Bodacious, audacious, no ceiling, no end. Loquacious, vivacious, where legends ascend. An outlier rising, no block. This is my moment. And welcome to the top. Oh, welcome to the top.
DJ, welcome. It's official.
Man, I appreciate that introduction. Man, that young man looks good 20 years ago.
I love it. We got to introduce you properly. So, yeah, we've you probably noticed a lot of people on that clip. So we've had a lot of people that you may have played against or with. Man, let's start with the relationship that you have with one of our members, Cassie Kincaid. You do a lot with her and her nonprofit Book Days, and I'm curious how that got started and why that's such a meaningful project for you to be involved with.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I don't take it lightly, being able to inspire or to hear a story about myself and the things I'm doing on and off the field. It really, this is my passion to help others and to be a vessel at the end of the day to help people to do better in whatever sector they're in. But Cassie, first of all, Cassie is awesome. Cassie was already doing book days, so book days was taking off anyway, startup, and she was at one of my schools that I refurbished and enhanced their school library, which we'll talk about a little later. When she was there, she was like, "Man, this is cool. You got this football player, like, it's all about reading. Book days is all about reading, and it's a cool concept that's a win-win for both of us." And Cassie allows me to go back to the schools that we've blessed and really favored with doing a library makeover at that particular school. And these are schools that are in the inner city. These are low income areas, and Cassie does a great job by bringing the book to life. That's what book days is all about. And I feel like I can actually speak on book days because we've been doing some work for the last couple of years, and I'm an advocate of it, being able to make reading fun for the kids, and that's in exact alignment with what my foundation does, being able to see kids do better reading and writing, that allows them to have more opportunities later in life and to further their education. So literacy is a big part of what I do. And book days, man, I tell you what, when Cassie, this is like I'm going in there with a superstar. So, we have the character of the book that we're going to read to the school, and we go in and, I give them a little spiel, a little talk, because they're excited to see a former NFL player and UT great linebacker and all this stuff. So they're all hyped up. And then when we read the book, me and Cassie read the book, we bring out the character, and the character is way more famous than I am, and it's kind of cool. It's humbling too. It's kind of lets you know, like, you're not that big of a deal, dude. Pete the cat is a little bit more important than you, which is awesome. So the kids are excited about reading and being able to go back and forth and do some dialogue and read and bring the book to life. It just brings more excitement around reading, and Cassie's a big part of that.
Love it. 13 years in the NFL is a long time. That is a long, long time to play at that level. Tell us about life after the NFL, because I know for a lot of players, it's a very, very tough transition. Talk to us, walk us through that, especially, you think 13 years is a long time, but still when people are retiring, they're in their late 30s. And, I think you're 42 now. So, still super young. Tell us about the transition.
It is tough for every, I'll just kind of speak on football players in general, being a professional athlete. It's tough because that's our life. Like if you want to do anything at a high level, especially you talk about the NFL, the top level, it's not really this is, I kind of do this, but I kind of do this. Like, this is what I do. And you have to work really hard. You have to have your, a lot of your attention and your mind space, body and soul has to be focused on that to do really good. I don't care how talented you are. Like, you gotta put some work in, not just physically, but mentally as well. And it's hard after you get out of that sport, because mine wasn't as hard as a lot of players. I'll just give you a quick backdrop. Usually when you play football, the average is 3.5 years if you make it. This is the 1% that makes it, right? It's 3.5 years. So, that's kind of the average. I played 14 years, 13 with Kansas City, and kind of gave the Raiders a little bit of what I had left. Didn't have much left, but I had 14 years. So I got 14 years in the NFL. So I killed that average, right? A lot of people don't do that. You always, most of the time, you end football before you wanted to, all the time. Even the people that have the most talent, either you're not quite good enough. That happens when you go and you're like, oh, wow, this is a little harder than I thought. Or injury bug. You just can't stay healthy. Or you're in a situation that opportunities just say he just, you didn't get that many opportunities. You got the bad hand or the shorter part of the stick. Or you're like myself, that you're actually you play a long time, and Father Time is just like, nah, it's about that time. You can't, mentally I'm still there. I can do everything, but I just can't make that extra step to make that play. And in the NFL, in any kind of sport, professional sport, if you're that far off, you're far off. Like literally, like, hey, man, I used to make that play. I used to intercept that ball. Now I can't get there. I'm not as valuable anymore. So eventually you get weeded out and you get younger players. It's just a whole business type of thing. And after football, regardless of where you're at on that sector, if you played, a little bit medium or long like myself, there's a transition of, man, what do I do now? What do I do now? What am I passionate about? That's the biggest thing. If you can find something, people stay in that depressed and that lost phase longer than they want to, because they don't have something that they're passionate about.
Yep.
Football was their passion. That's why they did really good at it. And regardless of when it was over, 3, 8, 14 years, you got to find that new passion sooner than later. But if it's real, you will find something that you and it's the right passion, and it has to do with something with serving and all that, something that's really has some value to it. You can really soar after your professional career is over, because of the hands you shook and the people that you met along the way. So it's been well with me. I got 6 kiddos, so I'm not trying to have a 9 to 5 right now. I need to, dibble and dabble with some little training here, helping out UT Longhorns with football team. Coach Sark and those guys let me come up there, do what I want. Being able to have my foundation, which I'm very, very passionate about, which I started while I was playing. So that was a good transition to being able to stay productive and positive busy after football.
DJ, I love to ask this question to friends of mine that have played pro sports, and especially with the NFL draft just happening and Shedeur Sanders dropping way down in the draft. I would guarantee he's going to be able to name every single quarterback who was drafted ahead of him. Yeah. So 2005, you're the 15th player taken in the draft, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But you were the 4th linebacker. I'm curious, do you know the other 3 guys that were the 3 other linebackers that were drafted before you?
Absolutely. Number 11, 11th pick would be DeMarcus Ware, who was pretty good for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, so they picked up right there. The 12th pick was Sean Merriman, which was really good. It's for the Chargers. Really good, really good. These guys are a little bit different from me. They're outside rushers, so they go get the quarterback. I'm more of a middle linebacker, kind of quarterback of the defense, so a little bit different. And then the 14th pick was Thomas Davis, who was kind of a safety, but he was a bigger safety, so he was going to play the position I played. That was a pretty good pick too. So he played a long time in the league too. So I have to say those three guys, they were really, really good. So the Chiefs, I fell to the Chiefs, and I say I fell. I mean it's first round pick, but I was probably supposed to go a little bit earlier, but the Chiefs, Dick Vermeil told me, hey, if you fall to us, which I don't think you would, and I told him, I said, I don't think I'm gonna fall to the Chiefs, honestly, but he said you never know, and that's how it is in the NFL draft, and it happened, and it was the best thing ever.
Let's talk about Coach Vermeil, because I love Coach. Coach wrote the foreword to my first book.
Oh, nice.
And Coach Vermeil was the first guest I ever brought on when I started this community. So you played for, I think, 3 coaches. You played for Coach Vermeil you played for 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Herm Edwards and Andy Reid.
That is correct.
Tell us a little bit about playing for those guys.
Oh man, they were awesome. Just to go down the list real quick, Dick Vermeil, then Herm Edwards, then Todd Haley. That didn't turn out too well. Then you had Romeo Crennel kind of stepped in after he got fired, and then Andy Reid. Andy Reid was awesome, but Dick Vermeil was awesome. I only was with him for 1 year, so he drafted me. He was a little older in his stint, and he retired after that. But he was, man, I've never seen a coach as vulnerable as he is. You talk about somebody that's genuine. Talk about somebody that's that will cry on a drop of a dime. I mean, we're in a oversaturated masculine room, with full of testosterone guys in there, and he would cry. At least every week about something he was passionate about, and it just showed me that when you're passionate about something, crying is not a weak thing. It's actually shows how strong and vulnerable you are. And he actually showed us it's okay to show that side of you. And love Coach Vermeil. I've been seeing him over the years. He's always been a great to me. And then playing for Herm Edwards, he's an energy ball, great guy. Didn't win as much in the 3 years he was there, but had some really, really good players like Jamal Charles and a lot of other players that came to us. And then, just went down the list a little bit. Then Andy Reid was a blessing for the Eagles. I don't know why would they let him go after, a season that wasn't as good as usual. And it was perfect timing for us. We needed a head coach, a leader, and best head coach I've had. 5 years with him. You talk about somebody that's always harping about the little things. He's big on, hey, if you can't get the little things right, then the big things are going to be even harder for you. And he's a proven leader. If he's yelling at you, if he's fussing on the field, if he's raising his voice, something's wrong. Everybody needs to chill out, because he doesn't do that. That's not his demeanor. But he's been doing it for a while and still doing it in Kansas City, and proud of him.
What do you think makes him? I think he's going to go down as one of the top maybe 10 coaches of all time. What do you think makes him such a phenomenal leader?
Well, just the confidence he exudes in his players. When you're a head coach, you have to have an aura about you that you can help everybody, coaches, the organization, the players. You got a tall job. It's not just the X's and O's. It's not just the plays. It's the whole piece of pie. And he knows it. He knows it well on and off the field. And I remember we were 1-5, maybe the 2015, I believe. And usually I've been 1-5 before. Usually after a game you've lost, you go in there and everybody's ripping everybody, and you're putting certain plays out up on the screen, and you're pointing out to all the team, look at this guy, pointing fingers. He didn't do that. We were 1-5, and thought we were pretty good, but I was like, man, this is weird. That is, we 1-5. We didn't think we would start out like that. And he got we had lost the game, became 1-5, and he had a team meeting, and he went in there. He said, hey, all right, guys, we're not far off. Keep working. Make sure you go to your meeting rooms. Make sure you ask your coaches this and this, because we got to get this going. Okay. All right. Y'all break out. And I'm thinking, you're not about to rip everybody. We're underachieving right now, and it worked. We went 10 or 11 games straight after that day. And we went to playoffs and all that stuff. That just kind of lets you know that he's done this for a long time. He knows what he's doing, and he trusts the process. So I've always told that story and always was amazed at that, because that wasn't my experience before that. Before that, it was like, hey, you're a bad team. Let's treat you like one. Let's rip everybody, point this up. Hey, you suck, you suck. You know what I mean? All that stuff. But he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He gave us confidence during a vulnerable time.
DJ, what was your most memorable moment in the NFL? I mean, being the all-time leading tackler, you had a lot of moments, my friend. What sticks out?
Oh man, probably I would say, like, I was literally living my dream, your dream job. I was that little kid where you say, what you want to be when you grow up, and I'm, gullible like all the other kids. I want to be an NFL player. I'm like, everybody does. Okay. And, what else you want to be? But I really was living that life at a high level, being able to be in Pro Bowls, being able to be the leader on the team, and being able to soak that in before every game. I feel like the most amazing part before the game, there was a aura and a spirit about me that when I got out on the field before, like during the warm-ups, I would just look at the stands and just kind of look out there like, wow, like in a grateful moment, like, man, God, you've been so good to me, being able to allow me to get paid for what I love to do, a kid's game, and do it at a high level. And I just remember just being so grateful every single game, regardless of our record. Every single game, man, I get a chance to go let it out and let my God-given ability show. And it's just being able to, those moments that I remember, that I was so grateful to be in the NFL, and I took advantage of it.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, you got out of the gate fast. His first game was against the Jets. He had 9 tackles, a forced fumble, and a sack in his first game ever in the NFL. I mean, that is insane. Absolutely crazy.
You say that, and I'm like, at the time, I'm like, because that's what I did in college. So I'm like, I was kind of like, oh, this is what you do. You go out, you get about 10 tackles, and you affect the game. And once I started, going through my ups and downs in NFL, I'm thinking like, man, I like to start out that way. That's pretty cool. That just kind of lets you know the potential that I had and the capability that I had. I just had to put it all together.
Let's talk about adversity and resiliency. So, like any player in the NFL, you can't play 13 years and not have adversity. And so you hamstring issues, and then, blew out your Achilles. Talk to us about how mentally you got through that, especially the Achilles, to come back from, a devastating injury like that. We just saw it with Jason Tatum with the Celtics, and, that's a brutal injury.
Yeah, great point. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm all about adversity, and what it doesn't show on the internet as much as my injuries or something like that. It doesn't show that I got benched my 5th year in the league. I'm a first round pick, and you got Todd Haley, a new regime coming in, and regardless of it, wasn't for the right reasons. Things happen, right? Life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% on how you respond. So being able to respond the right way allowed me to really get through that growth. I call it a growth year, because that's usually when you grow. When you're uncomfortable and you got some trials and tribulations that you're kind of overcoming, that's the time that you really need to press in and say, man, if I can fight through something that doesn't favor me, it actually has great benefits. And that's what it was for me. I've been through the little injuries of the hamstring and groin and certain stuff like that. But that, you miss a game or two and come right back. But my 5th year in the league, I haven't made a Pro Bowl. I haven't made an All-Pro or nothing of that. After that year, I got my first big contract. In my 6th year in the league, I made it to the Pro Bowl every year after that, being an All-Pro status a couple times during that stint. That kind of lets you know that, the Pro Bowl moments and those accolades and the different achievements that I was doing, everything was after year 5. So 5 was that year where I really grew up. And what I did, the two things that really made a difference, I became more of a consistent player. Not that I was, dogging at anything, but I never really put a bunch of games together at a high level. I was always, things came easy to me. I was, very gifted. I can jump, run, and do all that stuff. But I got more consistent, and I was easily motivated, very easily motivated. A lot of times you think that NFL players are like, man, they wake up, cloud 9 every time. Like there's just, life is great. You go out there, you do your stuff, you work hard. It's like, nah, it's not like that. We're regular people, and we go through things, and we don't feel like killing it every day. It's hard to kill it every day, but your habits form who you are. So being able to press in and instill these great values during this growth year, man, it set me up. It set me up, and everything came out. Big contracts came after that. Pro Bowls came after that. I was captain of the team, and it was just like, man, that's what it's about. And my 10th and 12th year, I popped my Achilles. The first Achilles that I popped, it's just Father Time. It wasn't, that I did anything wrong. It's just, it happens. It's always random. And after I popped my Achilles, worked hard, got back, the next year I made it to the Pro Bowl. So that just kind of tells you that what he did early in his career, especially that 5th year of growth year and battle through some adversity, man, adversity, that was more like a platform for me to show how good God is and how much control I had, autonomy I had over my mind to really do whatever I needed to do to excel at a high level, regardless of the circumstances. And I did it. In 2014, I popped my Achilles. And then 2015, I came back, strong campaign, got it to the Pro Bowl. And then 2016, I popped my other Achilles, just Father Time a little bit. And then I finished my last year with the Chiefs, 2017. And then after that, got a chance to play with John Gruden. His first year at the Raiders, he likes veteran players, so I came up there to join them just for a year.
How did you work on your mindset, DJ? And was your faith a big part of your mindset?
Yes, absolutely. We can't do anything alone. Like, you know what I mean? You sometimes we, especially as men, you're like, man, I can, I can do this. You need help. You need others around you. And being able to be faith-based and being able to have a prayer life, being able to dive into my Bible during the weakest moments and have a higher power. You have to. It's too hard. It's just too hard. You got to have, and then God sets it up where other people around you. If you surround yourself with good people, man, you can get through anything. You got to have that mindset, though. You really do. And I'm grateful enough that I was raised the right way by my mom, who's a school teacher for over 40 years. She's big in the church, big in education, and she taught me at an early age, you got to, hard work pays off, and even if it's in a tough situation, you can come out of that. You just gotta fight through it. That's the time to actually get better. That's the time you really see what a person's all about. It's easy if everything's going right for somebody. That's given. That's kind of easy, but put some challenging times in front of them. And then, because I could have easily talked my way out of Kansas City. They were doing me wrong. Todd Haley, he shouldn't have fired, shouldn't have set me on the bench. No way. I'm the best player on defense. No way you sit me down. I'm a first round pick. I'm on my last year of my deal. You can't sit me down. Like, that's a perfect opportunity for me to go blast them out into the media. But no, what I did is say, hey, I can only control what I can control, right? Your attitude and your effort, that's the only thing you can control. And being able to have a prayer life really allows me to, in those moments where some people will get quick tempered. Now I'm like, talking to the media, hey, it is what it is. I really want to play. I'm working hard. Hopefully things figure itself out. And the next year, that 6th year, he was really tired of media saying, hey, what's up with Derrick Johnson? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing this? You're not a good team. Like, why is he on the bench? I was only playing like 15, 20 plays a game. And usually I play every play. I just don't come off the field. And he said, all right, we got open competition now. We'll settle everything. My 6th year. I mean, I blew it out the water. Put it like that. I blew it out the water. It just set me up for a lot of success later on. So it was pretty cool.
So, with such an iconic career, such a legendary career, do you think much about Canton and the Hall of Fame, or do you ever look back and say, man, I wish I had been able to win a Super Bowl?
So, yes, win a Super Bowl. I wish. It wasn't in my cards dealt. God has really blessed me, man. I've been the star on every defense that I played with, especially at the University of Texas. As soon as I leave to the NFL, they win a national championship. As soon as I retire, 2019, with my walk to go to the to the Chiefs and sign the letter of retirement. In 2020, they win the Super Bowl. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I have been the building block, help let people know how to play the game, how to play the linebacker position. I set standards that people still to this day, they say, man, you were the building block. You helped me, even though you didn't get that ring, that hard work, wear a ring, that really that's all you play the game for, to win the Super Bowl and win that championship. And I came short of that, but I've had so many championship moments when I'm around my players, which means more, right? Sometimes it's not about what all we can acquire, right? And take and accolades and achievements. Give me this ring, give me that. Who have you become in the process, right? That's more important. Like, who have you become throughout what you've been through? If you're worse off or not a good person, or it makes you worse, I mean, all that stuff you went through is it didn't have as much value. But for me, I become a better person because of what I went through, the people that I've touched, and the relationships that I know. So I am very content with knowing that I didn't win the big one, but man, I had a great run. Would I love to be in the college? Would I love to be in the NFL Hall of Fame? Absolutely. That's one of those things where if it happens, it happens. Mm-hmm. But right now I'm in 5 Hall of Fames. I'm in the state of Missouri Hall of Fame, Texas Sports Hall of Fame, high school Texas Sports Hall of Fame, or Texas Football Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame. And look, I'm missing one of them. Golly, that's how many.
That's when you know you're great, when you can't even remember the Hall of Fames you're in. Trust me, if I was in a Hall of Fame, I'd remember.
The University of Texas Hall of Fame, obviously. I've been blessed, and now being able to have that come from that platform, and then to come into kids' life and say, hey, education is super important. Reading is super important, and being able to provide them the proper resources to help them to be better in life. I'm doing what I love.
So, DJ, I've got a million more questions, but so does everyone here. So, you ready to answer some questions?
Let's do it. Fire them away.
All right. Brian, we are going to you first. You are up with DJ.
Hey, DJ.
Hey, what's up?
Question for you. You know, I think a lot of high performers set such a high bar for themselves. Like us looking at these high performers, it almost appears like some are driven by not feeling good enough yet. So I guess my question for you is, how do you balance self-acceptance and self-improvement? Because from the
Ooh.
outside, sometimes this improvement looks like it's driven by not feeling like you're quite good enough yet.
Yeah. First of all, great question. First of all, you have to accept where you're at the moment, knowing that you got a lot of growth. And that's not just because you're at the bottom of the mountain does not shouldn't give you less confidence. It should be more exciting. Like, man, I'm about to go through some stuff. I'm about to get better. You got to press in though. You got to be in your passion. You got to love it. You can't, before I say what I'm going to say, you can't go through this and not love what you do. Because when you run into challenging times, you're going to quit, or you're not going to push through, or you're not going to give max effort still, right? It's going to be inconvenient type of thing. So you gotta have that passion for whatever you're in first. Then that moving with a purpose can really work for you. For some reason, when you set goals, kind of personally, when I set goals, especially when it came to the football era, it's important to write down. It's important to go over I'm talking about big goals. But I don't think it's important for you to look at those big goals all the time. Because what happens is you get too distracted because even though I want to, for instance, I want to play 10 years in the NFL. That was kind of one of my goals. I want to exceed that, which is a big goal. If you go to the NFL, I don't care what round you go in. It's 10 years, dude. That's like, whoa, that's a lot. But what happens is after you write that goal down, or after you seek that goal out, there's a lot of little mini victories that has to happen before that. So being able to focus more on that, like conquer the moment, which helps you down the road. Like a lot of times people want to tell their story and they want to get to the end right now. Like time is going to tell your story. Like you have to work hard at where you at. Like be okay with saying I'm not that good right now, but you know what? I'm getting better. I'm getting better. And you have to own where you at and know that if you work really hard, you will get better. It's just a natural deal. Like if you put we're all a product of how we manage our time. Like if you put your focus in an area in a consistent basis, you're going to get better. You're going to get better. And that's all you can ask to get better. And good things happen later on. You never know a lot of times we want to know exactly what's going to happen. Man, if I do this, this, and this, I'm going to get this award. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this much money. It's like, no. Did you get better? Did you get better? Okay, I got better. Okay, next day, let's go. Let's hit it again. Now I conquered that. And when you look back, you're like, oh wow. Now I'm here. I'm at 12 years. Wait, hold on. At first it was 10. Oh, I'm at 14. It's like that's just how it goes when you really put your attentions towards a goal, many little victories, and then those big goals will come up.
I see. So okay, so I'm going to paraphrase that as like having the spectrum of sometimes I can do this, and then other times I'm not there yet, or a little bit of both, right? And so being somewhere on that spectrum, you show up and sometimes your ego's in your way for every human and you're like, no, I'm not there yet. And other days I'm really hard on myself. So I'm like, no, I'm going to lean more on I can do this. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
That's so true. And the hard times are when you feel like, man, dang, I thought I was there. Like, it's okay. Like things take time. It's okay. Like, it's okay that you haven't got it yet. I haven't got it yet. Cool. I'm gonna go at it again. That's the only way to really persevere. If you ain't ready to get dirty, if you're not ready to say, man, I failed at that, and then pick your stuff back up and go again. I tell my kids all the time, they don't laugh at it now, but they used to laugh when I drop them off at basketball practice or football. I said, go fail, go mess it up, mess it up. And now they know, like, I got you. That makes sense.
I love that. So good. And I love the thought of stacking wins, those small wins. Bun, you're up.
Hello, Derrick. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
So I love that message of go fail. There's so many great key messages here. So when you start talking about your transition, I'm really curious about that, because I do work with special force operators like Navy SEALs, Marine Raiders, as they transition out of military service. And we're talking about, like, what they call tip of the spear, which is similar to, like, your transition, top of the game, and then you're done. Right. And I know that's a really hard time for athletes, like pro athletes, for these veterans I work with. So what are some, like, I'd love to hear a little bit more of your story, how you found your passion. And then do you have any practical tips that I can tell them? Derrick Johnson told me.
Yeah.
I can share this with you.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Because it's a real thing. First of all, finding their passion other than what they did in their career. So now it's sitting, from day one, they're going back to, I hate to say it, but they're going back to elementary, they're going back to middle school, they're going back, like, all right, what's my passion? What I love to do. And it may be a few things, now I'm not just saying it's one thing and it's boom, it's there, but going with their passion, and then trying to align that. So everybody wants to know what their purpose is. Everybody wants to go purpose. You will find your purpose once you find your passion. So there's two different things, if you know what I mean. So finding your passion. What do I love to do? What do I love to do? And not just one thing, just kind of list them out and go through them. It really helps you to narrow it down and not get your head way, I can do this, I can do that, I can, and it's just too much. It's just like, all right, these are a few things I'm passionate about. Let's go down and scale them up and see what I can do to serve others, right? You got to have a serving piece in that passion. If you're not serving, you kind of missed it. You got to serve. You got to serve. And that's kind of Bible based, just because being able, Jesus came to the world not to be served, but to serve others. And if we want to formulate our life and be more like Christ, we kind of got to do what Christ did. So being able to find your passion, formulate that, and then your purpose is in the neighborhood. That's what you want. After you can find your passion, being able to get some kind of core value. Let's say you have something. You're like, man, I love this. Myself, I love the low income areas and education. So that was me. All right, how can I help this? How can I do this? So I want to provide resources for them. I want to do library makeover at Title I elementary schools. It's like, all right, cool. So you're in the education field. What's the core values of your foundation, Defend the Dream Foundation? What's your core values? I think everybody, if you got a small business to a big business, you got to have core values, right? Because once it gets sticky and once you go through different things, you're able to fall back on those. So it's not inconvenience. It's not, man, this didn't work out. I didn't get these funds, or man, this person said no. Oh man, I can't. No. What's the core value? So my core values for my foundation, this is mine's, love, excellence, and purpose. So the love piece is just being able to serve with care, being able to be sensitive to other people's needs, and being able to say, man, I want to care for who I'm serving. I want to care for who I'm serving. Then the next deal is excellence, being able to provide a product that I'm proud of. That's the professionalism in me, because when you're in the NFL, when you're at a pro level, you never just slouch and do stuff. It just can't. It's too it's too competitive, and when you're not doing that good today, we'll get somebody else in there. That's just how it is. So you gotta keep it high at all times to stay professional. And then the purpose part, being able to make sure I always uplift the objective of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see these kids further their education. I'm trying to get them possibly in the trade school or college, right? Do something after high school that allows them to have more opportunities in life. So having those core values really, again, you got to have the passion, find your passion. And then, you'll eventually find your purpose. Don't say purpose first. Find your passion, and then have some core values in that passion, then go from there.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm literally going to go to my next class of the Honor Foundation and share that Derrick, this is not from me, this is from Derrick Johnston.
Oh,
So
Right.
look
There
it
you
up.
go.
I appreciate that.
I really love that for the first part you said about go back, right? Because when you spend
Go
your
back.
career
Yeah.
in doing when you spend your career in a certain place and you have that identity, that's all you know. So really, that's so important. Like, go back. What did you love when you were a child? So thank you so much for starting with that.
Man, that's awesome.
But
Thank you.
check out what former UT player Nate Boyer, who's a buddy of mine, and I'm sure is a buddy of DJ's, what he's doing with MVP, which is merging vets and players. Really cool stuff.
That's amazing. Thank you.
We are going to the iconic basketball coach, Jim Johnson. What's up, my friend? You're on mute.
All right, yeah, that's trying to get unmuted. Hi, Derrick.
Hey, how you
Nice
doing?
to meet you. And I was a long-time high school basketball coach, so I'm always curious because I study trying to figure out what makes people great. I'm curious, being in the NFL for over a decade, what were some of your daily habits that help you stay in the league for that long?
Yeah, great question, Coach. Man. So self-confidence is big deal. When you're in any kind of sport, regardless if it's basketball, football, you got to have something about you that says, man, when I mess up or when somebody does something to beat me, how do I bounce back? How? Because you just don't say, oh, you just bounce back. You got to have something within you that allows you to play at a level when it gets harder, right? When it gets harder, I get better. And being able to know that it doesn't get easier down the road, but what you do, you're able to handle hard better. I'm sure you've heard that before. So just think of just an easy analogy. I'm repping out, 225 pounds. I only get it 5 times. And I'm like, man, that was hard weight. Goodness gracious. Now, somebody might say, well, what about doing it 15 times? It's like, well, it's still going to be hard, but as I keep working out, and now let's say a few months down the road, I'm like, man, I got it 12 times. It's still hard, but I'm just handling hard better. So being able to know that there's not a light at the end of the tunnel type of deal until it's actually over. So being okay with saying, you know what, it's going to be hard, but the more I form habits, good habits, it allows me to get really, really good. And man, just the self-confidence, that's the biggest deal. All the great players I've been around, their confidence is here. And their confidence comes from how they manage their time. Their confidence comes from the work that they put in. It's hard to be confident if you ain't killing it. If you're killing it and working hard, not that you have to be perfect, but if you're doing what you need to do, extra, not, oh, we got practice here. Cool. We got practice here. I do all the practices. It's like, no. What are you doing in your own time, your extra time that allows you to be that much better, be 1% better, and going into practice every day, having a awareness and a consciousness of what do I need to do to get better. That actually helps me to actually get better, saying, man, what does coach say the other day that I wasn't doing? Or what do I see on film that I'm like, man, you got to get better at this. Hey, today I'm doing that. For sure, I'm not going to do this today. I'm going to make sure, and you get better each day like that. So, and then when you look back, again, time tells your story. And you look back, you're like, man, I put together some great work.
Thanks, Derrick. I always used to give my team a quote every day, and one of my favorite quotes is, "There's no traffic jams on the extra mile." So you said it well.
Man, hey, you know what? I love quotes, so I'm gonna grab that one. I like that. Grab that one.
Randy Ostrow in Florida, you're up.
Good afternoon. My question, pardon me, it's not nearly as deep as the other ones. The hardest hit you ever made in the NFL, I'd like to know if you can remember that, and also if you had a lot of, or at least the several experiences of getting in the zone where the game kind of slowed down for you.
A great question. And that was forfeiting for you to say, do I remember it? Because, I do take a lot of big hits. I do remember it. And it's probably one of the guys that's probably most feared in the NFL was Marshawn Lynch. He was not looking at me, so that kind of helped. He was about to catch a ball, and I waylaid him and just knocked him out. And he didn't knock him out, but it looked really, really good from my standpoint. The quarterback Derrick kind of set him up, threw it up, and I'm like, oh yeah. But he got up, smiled at me with his gold tooth to say, oh man, good job, man. I'm like, he's supposed to be on the ground, squirming, but he was a great player, by the way. But usually they say in the NFL, this may be in the NBA and other sports as well, but after maybe 2 years, especially third year, it slows down for you big time, where you say, wow. And when I say slows down, that doesn't mean that I'm talking about the mind slows down. So you actually look faster in your particular sport. You actually look faster, and you're really not moving fast. You're just like, I know what's about to happen. Like if what I think is about to happen happens, I'm there. Boom. And being able not to panic when they throw a wrench in there and they do something that you wasn't expecting, being able to hold your composure, not to overreact, especially in pressure situations. That's what a lot of young players or players that the game hasn't slowed down for them. Man, they get, man, this is fourth down, or this is a big pass on me, and I got Travis Kelce. If you're more, if you get more timid or more tight during those situations, it does not help. I've done it before. It doesn't help. You might as well go on and just say, man, I'm gonna play ball. And not saying that you're crazy loose and you don't know the situation, but being tight and uptight, it's not going to help you. So being able to, again, it's the work you do too. You got to prepare, right? The separation is in the preparation. So being able to do that allows you to the game to slow down, and then you get more confidence because you're making plays, you're doing this and doing that. Now you're in the zone, and some things that are hard for others, not hard for me at that moment.
Thank you. That's tremendous. Thank you.
Yeah. No
what
problem.
I love about all this, and one of the reasons why, we bring a lot of people with athletic backgrounds and military backgrounds, is every single thing that DJ just said, you could apply to business. Every single thing. Preparation, give it time, things will slow down. It all applies to business. So never think of this just through the lens of, okay, Derrick's talking about pro football. What does that have to do with me running a business or managing people? It has everything to do with it. Melanie Fox.
Hey, thank you. I was going to say, speaking of major athletes, not me. I'm all of 5'1", so I didn't get any gifts when it comes there. But I my question is, so because I'm fascinated by sports and athletes, I found myself at an event related to the ESPN ESPY Awards. And when I met athletes, I realized that they seem to have so many different influences. Like they'll say, oh, talk to my agent or my manager or my PR person or my, I'll talk to my coach about that, or I'll talk to someone else. So it seems like there's so many influences pushing and pulling you in different directions. So my question for you is, like, what person or what people were your most trusted advisors when it came to people advising you on whether it was personal or professional development or development in the sport itself? Like, who were your influences and how did you sort of pick which were the best influences and who was the noise?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, you have your agent, right? You got to trust your agent. I think I was blessed to have an agent that had my brother, so I already knew him already, and that really helps when it comes to that whole world of handling football stuff, right? Financial guy, you got to trust him, being able to have a relationship with him, that when you bring him deals or you don't want to do a deal and you don't want to give somebody money and you say, hey, talk to my financial guy. So everybody's on the same page, and you're right. We do have a few people around us. I had a great, bragging on my family now, I had a great family growing up, especially my mom being a school teacher or whatnot. So she instilled a lot of great values in me at an early age. But my brother was 6 years older than me. He stand out in football in high school and went to Baylor University. Then played in the NFL for 5 years, right? Didn't do as well as me, but did really good. Like, more things are caught than taught. Like when I seen him working out all the time, being a student athlete, never got in trouble, working hard. He was a rookie free agent. Like, he wasn't a first round pick like me. I credit a lot of my success looking at him like, man, look at that, man. That's what I want to do, right? And having somebody in the household do the same thing that I want to do is a bonus, man. I'm not saying it was easy. I had to put in my work, but I was shown, like, hey, gotta do it this way, gotta act this way, can't do that, can't have that friend, or you need to hang around these people. You know what I mean? So I was definitely well-rounded and knew what it took to get there. Still had to climb that mountain, but I think it's very, very important to have people around you to help you along the way. You cannot do it alone. And you don't want to do it alone. You want to have others with you. I played I'm biased when it comes to football. I played an ultimate team sport. Like, if you can't block, then the quarterback can't do his job. If the quarterback is not accurate with the throws, they can't do that. It just goes on and on. I can go from the defense side of the ball to the offense side of the ball, and we can do it in basketball. You can do it in any sport. So being able to accept, I have a gift or whatnot, but I need others around me on and off the field, not just on the field. So.
DJ,
thank you so much.
This has been unbelievable. I can't believe the hour is up, but this was an absolute blessing. You were a class act on the field, and you're a class act off the field. And we were blessed to be able to spend this time with you today. So thank you.
Man, I appreciate that.
This time.
How much do I have to pay you to say that, man? That's good. That's good, man. I appreciate that.
You're a special guy, and I love the work that you're doing off the field now, and it's going to be exciting to continue to watch, what you're doing, and we kind of get a little bit of an inside view through the work that you do with Cassie. So thank you again, and keep doing your thing, my friend.
Thank y'all so much. Loved it.
You got it.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.